terrific stuff. The Doctor defeats the Daleks, of course, by humanizing some of them and causing civil war on the Dalek planet Skaro, to which everyone is transported. Maxtable, having been Dalekized, is killed, and Victoria's father dies, saving the Doctor's life. The orphaned Victoria joins the Doctor and Jamie on their travels.
There was one very funny moment happened. It was in a programme called Evil of the Daleks. The Doctor had invented the machine which, if a Dalek passed through, it changed his whole personality. He became a nice, good, kind, caring thing or person. And so Peter Hawkins and myself decided, with the director's agreement, that once they'd been through this, we would alter how the Daleks spoke. Instead of, as I mentioned before, that instead of going on one level or rising, we let them go up and down like this, so they became more normal. But we were running very, very behind time on this day, and the director was a very good director, I hasten to add, but it had become very tense, and the whole studio was not terribly happy. We were all a little bit nervous and edgy, and something needed to break it. So when Alpha and Beta, I was playing a Dalek called Beta, and Peter Hawkins was doing the voice for a Dalek called Alpha, when they went through this machine, I was meant to say to Alpha, "Alpha, what has happened to us?" And what I actually did was saying, "What's it all about, Alpha?" which was a pop song at the time. The director went a little bit bananas, but the studio laughed and everything ended up happily.
Biddy Baxter, the producer of Blue Peter, phoned me up and asked me, she had a brilliant idea. Children were writing into her about Doctor Who, and had I any ideas about making a play suit for, you know, a small amount of money, 10 shillings, she mentioned. So I thought about it. Mind you, I was busy on the programme. I didn't have much time to consider. So I enlisted the help of Bill Roberts, who made the actual Dalek, and he came up to the centre for lunch, and we chewed about it over some napkins and drew some things with egg boxes and bits of cardboard and so on, and sprayed silver, of course. And he came up with something which was brilliant, and this was presented on Blue Peter by Chris Trace, the then presenter, who said in front of all the children, millions one assumes, much to the annoyance of Biddy Baxter, I think, that Ray Cusick should have a gold badge. And I always thought you had to do things of valour to get a gold badge. Anyway, I got one.
Number one Dalek, or head Dalek, as I've come to be known over the years, really because of the length of time I'm doing it. The other chaps who were doing it fell by the wayside or moved away or did other work. Whenever any new chaps came in, it was amazing that you could tell them the best way to do a scene, the best way to sit, how to tie yourself in, how to find that you had 3 or 4 hands inside the Dalek to do this job, which looks impossible. Directors and PAs, of course, thought the same thing. Get John to do it, get John to organise this. We want 4 Daleks to come round this corner, how best to do it. And you almost had a folklore of which way you travelled, whether you were in echelon, who was giving the orders. This went on all the time. And you were number one Dalek, I'm afraid.
Recently, some more material from the Dalek master plan came to light, but with no sound.
I used to give many interviews to the press, sometimes 3 or 4 a week. And, I was always misquoted, of course, always. And there was one famous piece written by Nancy Banks Smith, who then wrote for The Guardian, TV critic. And she interviewed me at the centre, television centre, and she phoned me up, actually. She said, "Ray, when you read the piece, don't be put out. I didn't write it." I said, "What do you mean?" She put it was taken off my desk and rewritten. And the story, the basic theme of it was Ray Cusick, designer, and Terry Nation, writer. Here we have Terry Nation, who's rags to riches. And here we have Ray Cusick, who's rags to rags. That was the sort of theme of the piece. And they got very upset at the BBC, and I don't blame them, actually, but I didn't say all these things, of course.
Patrick Troughton's story, Evil of the Daleks, in 1967, was the last appearance of the Daleks for quite a while, except for a brief cameo in the final episode of The War Games. But their notoriety was established, and when they reappeared for Day of the Daleks, the year was 1972. Another time, another place, and another Doctor.